Now that we've got a basic shape there, let's go ahead and add a subdivision surface modifier. However, now that I look over here at the outliner, I don't see our new object, and that's probably because I accidentally put it in this new collection, sure enough. So we can take it and we can drag it out of here, but also, once again, we can use that M key, hit the M key, and then just move it to Scene Collection. And now it's out here, outside of that collection. So let's give it a new name. Let's just call it Seat. And here we go. Now let's come down here. Let's add a new modifier, a subdivision surface. If we tab into edit mode, we can see the cage isn't quite on the smoothed mesh. So let's turn on cage here. There we go. Let's turn up the viewport level to 2. And if we tab back into object mode and right click, we can smooth it here with Shade Smooth. Okay. Now let's see what we can do to get it a little bit better into shape. If we hit the 3 key and Z and wireframe. All right, so now we can just take these and begin moving these up, getting these more in place. Maybe I'll take these and move them back here like this. So you can kind of just move them around a bit, get them the way you like it. Maybe I'll take these here and start moving them up like this. Like this, like this. I'm wondering if I need another extrusion here to come on around here. Let's try that. If I select these two, I'll get those edges here. And I may want to pull this out just a bit like this. And then let's just extrude this. I'll hit E and pull that out kind of like that. And then we can get this curve a little bit better. That's not bad. So it's just a matter of doing some pushing and pulling and rearranging of your points here to see what you can get and to see how close you can get to that object, to that shape. Now, I do think I need to pull this out just a little bit. I think what I'm going to do is take these points here and I'm going to pull them out, and I want to push them out in the x-axis, but I want to slide them along this edge here, these edges. So to do that, instead of just pressing G, I can hit G 2 times. And that will slide those points along that existing edge, right? As opposed to just pulling like this, which may actually be good. Actually, if I pull this out like this, that's not bad. But anyway, I just wanted to let you know that you can press G 2 times to slide an edge or a point along the perpendicular edges. Let's take this and maybe move this out a bit, like this. And we might be able to move these out. Yeah, so I think we're getting there. It's just a matter of kind of, as I said, pushing and pulling and trying to get that shape the way you want it. All right. So if we've got that the way we want it, let's just say we do, the next thing is to add some thickness to it. And to do that, I'd like to use a solidify modifier. So let me move everything up a bit so we can have a little bit more room down here in the properties window. So I'm going to twirl the subdivision surface modifier up so we have a little more room. And I'm going to click Add Modifier and Solidify. Now, if we come over here to the thickness field, we can click and drag and begin to add some thickness here. I'll turn on even thickness like this. And you can see we're getting some thickness. This is collapsing in on itself, so we may want to try and adjust that. Let's tab into edit mode and see what we can do about that. It looks like if we take these up a bit, maybe that won't happen quite as much there. Let's pull these out a bit like this. And maybe we could pull these out just a bit as well. Kind of like this. And maybe I'll take this edge and hit the G key 2 times to slide that like this. There we go. All right, that's pretty good, but it's kind of blocky. We've got this kind of sharp edge on the top and the bottom, and this here is kind of pinched, so that's not quite what we want. But within Blender's modifier stack here, you can move these modifiers around, and when you do, you can get different effects. So currently, it's applying the mirror modifier, then the subdivision, then the solidify. If I click here and drag up and drop it right above the subdivision, Now it's doing the solidify before the subdivision. It's adding thickness and then it's smoothing it. So now we're getting a little bit nicer curve here. So let's twirl this down and let's add a little more thickness and see what we can do here. Let's go to that 3 key. I'll go back to wireframe. And we can begin to get a little more thickness here, but it looks like we're going to have to come in and rematch up some of these points because we've changed the way Blender is applying our modifiers. So I'll hit G and move this up, hit G and begin kind of rearranging these just a little bit to get it back in shape. Yeah, so let's try that. Back to solid view, and let's take a look at it. So I think we're doing pretty well. It's just that this area right in here is kind of bothering me. Let's get this a little bit better in shape. I'm going to take this and move this out just a bit to make that turn a little bit more pronounced there. Let's try that. So just keep tumbling around, trying to find problem areas, areas where you can do a little bit of work, reshape it, get it to the point where you like it. All right, now the next thing is I want to apply this solidify modifier to do a little bit more tweaking with polygons down here. Currently, these down here aren't real. We can't apply like an edge loop between them. This is just part of the modifier on the bottom. And to apply the solidify modifier here could be problematic. Blender tends to want you to apply the modifiers from the top down of the stack. So if I clicked here, pulled this down and clicked apply, look what happens. That's kind of ugly. It's now applying that mirror in a really awkward way. So I'm going to press Control Z. And you can see that if you drag this solidify up to the top, you can see that there. If you drag the mirror down to the bottom, this is what happens, right? We're getting some thickness, then we're subdividing it, and then the mirror is happening. So that's getting really weird. Let's get the mirror back on top here. So the issue is we need to apply from the top down. We need to get it in a shape that we like and then apply from the top down. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to apply the mirror first here. And then I'm going to apply the solidify here. Now if we tab into edit mode, you can see we've got polygons all the way around on the bottom as well. But I don't want to lose the ability to have that mirror modifier because as I do some tweaks, I'll want it to happen on both sides. So what I'm going to do is reapply a mirror and then apply a subdivision. So I'm going to take this away, hit the X there, and now it's really ugly. And I'm going to tab into edit mode and hit the 7 key. I'll go to wireframe, hit the 3 key for face mode, and then I'm going to drag select just 1/2 of the object, hit the delete key and delete faces. Now I'm going to add a mirror modifier again here, turn on clipping, and then I'll add a subdivision surface modifier once again. And there we go. And now I can turn this up to 2. And I'll turn on the cage for both the mirror and the subdivision. So now we're back kind of where we started, but we now have thickness to the seat and we can continue tweaking as needed.